One Excel workbook crashed my PC. So, I'm not tech support, I'm just a regular desk jockey. However, I'm not an idiot. I've got an A and a network and had a couple of old MS certs that have expired. Since I'm one of the few people that have some tech skills, I sometimes get to fix stuff that's broken. Sometimes I fix stuff if it annoys me enough. I have a co-worker who is 15 years younger than I am and has 2 college degrees that has no idea how a computer works. I got my first PC after I graduated from high school in the early 90s. I should be the old man that doesn't understand computers. Well, we're all working from home and doing our duties. I get to be back up for those duties. Simple things that are less than one person's job but easy to do. Plus, somebody has to do these type of things while people take PTO. Backup duties get handed around. Several of us cover for each other. Today, my co-worker asks me to cover for her on the big client. She's had PC issues. A lot of PC issues. Her friend is coming over at lunch to figure them out. One of them is easy to diagnose. Bad inverter cable or bad inverter board itself. Her friend is coming over to figure out why it flickers and why it runs so slowly. She asks me to run the big client today. No problem. Make some support tickets if any show up, check on the current support tickets, and keep the big client informed. Keep the big client happy. So, I check my folders in Outlook and download yesterday's Excel workbook. The workbook is the daily report that we send them. Sure, it's simple, but it works. Then I open the workbook. It takes 4 minutes and a GB of RAM. I have no idea why. I keep poking around trying to figure out if it's infected. Is it running some weird formula? Some crazy reference? I don't really know Excel as well as I should. I complain to her about the workbook in Teams. By this time, her friend has showed up, she's going to lunch to get her PC inspected, and I start working on this stupid Excel workbook. She comes back from lunch. She's getting a new screen and he removed some bloatware. I ask, do you use these tables? What's a table? This workbook has 7 total sheets. 2 for current issues, and the rest are past 5 months. All months before that have been moved to a second workbook. Of course, both of them combined are too large to email, so they have to be zipped up to be sent every day. I look at the sheets and each one has a table maxed out. About 65,000 rows and the columns go to triple letters. I message the boss about this workbook. He says, actually, that's probably just the one that I made for her. She's probably still using the same one. He clearly just clicked the upper left corner and tabled the whole stupid thing. So, I go to the last 2 sheets and untable them. The file gets bigger. As I untable the 3rd sheet, Excel freezes. I watch in Task Manager as it slowly climbs up to 2.5 gigabytes of RAM. My fan sounds louder than I've ever heard it. Force reboot. Tables are pretty good at storing formatting according to the Googles. Having infinite formatting without tables is quite hard on Excel, I guess. That also explains why the file got larger. It explains why it was worse even though I was saving it in between edits. At that point, a friend of mine comes up with the simplest solution. Make a new workbook and copy / paste the data over. I'd been wrestling with this thing for hours. I'm an idiot for trying so hard. I do just as he advised. I format the cells out to 500 rows and about 100 columns and freeze the top row. Whole thing takes about an hour while doing my regular work. At most, this thing has 166 rows of data. This thing is so sloppy that I realize there are actually about 200 worthless columns hidden in the middle of it. In the end, she's excited that I kept her easy to read formatting and added back the old months. Even with the added 5 months of data, I reduced the size of the workbook from 91 megabytes to 818 kilobytes. I should know better than this. When trying to fix a problem, it really can boil down to one simple Excel workbook screwing up the whole PC. Even the smallest glitch can kill the whole system if it grows big enough and carries on long enough. To the remedial class. I had to visit the accountant's office today. Remember when Homer Simpson went to work for Hank Scorpio? Remember the remedial class Bart was put into? It's like going in there. I named them Tina and Ralph. Tina Belcher from Bob's Burgers because whenever you ask her anything over the phone you get 20 seconds of Can you click on start? Is the monitor on? Are the lights on in your office? And Ralph for Ralph Wiggum. The switch had been looped and dropped them off from the rest of the network. I theorize it's another attack of Consular the OCD cleaner plugging loose network cables into sockets. I fixed that. Internet connectivity returns, IP phones spring back to life, network volumes reappear. Ralph needs to test Sage as that wasn't working. Sage is Ralph's acid test for everything. Internet can't be down because Sage works. Building can't be on fire because Sage works. The internet must be broken because Sage doesn't work. Today everything must be broken because Sage wouldn't open. Despite being told that the issue causing Sage not to work was clear and the Sage network volume was now connected, Ralph needed to see with own little pudgy eyes. The fact that it opened where previously there was an error was not enough. No, he needs to go in and start processing a load of accounts data. 15 minutes in after doing this week's expenses he declares everything fine. But wait, I know a common issue in here. The network printer. Can we test printing, I say? The gods know the game they are playing with me. It's not about the result, it never was, it's about the dance. It's Schrodinger's printer. If it tests it will work. If I leave without testing the printing it will fail, and I will have to suffer a call from one of these two, and you all know the type of call, the one where the caller wants to spend more time talking about the fact there is a problem than actually doing anything resembling working towards fixing the problem. Oh, how I dream about interrupting people and saying you have spent 10 minutes talking about something that takes 10 seconds to fix. You'll have 2 ears and 1 mouth. How about using them in that ratio and you let me actually do my job? But I've been in this game too long to make that mistake. That's just a flaming ball of HR fun time waiting to happen. Instead you suck it up and let them prattle on while being polite. Tina at me. For me a test print is open up notepad, type hi, click print, 10 seconds on a slow day. But Tina is doing it. Click on start. Now which program, Word or Excel? She hovers the mouse between the two icons for 30 damn seconds. My inner monologue is screaming just F\king click 1. She opens Word. But no, rather than just type test and hit print, she now has to choose a previous document. She sits there, motionless, for 30 seconds out of the minute of deciding I am unable to see her as like Drax the Destroyer. She too has mastered the ability to be so incredibly still that she became invisible to the eye. Finally she opens the file. My heart drops. It's 12 pages. She's going to read them all, isn't she? Of course she is. The printer whirs into life. I've been here for an hour. This would have been a 5-minute job with anyone else in the company, even Technical Dave, the man who wants to discuss his home networking projects with me at any opportunity and tries to use us as his personal network support. I checked the next floor. Consular had attacked there too. I removed the loop, cursed the budget committee for not buying decent switches for every floor and told the 3 people on site that everything was restored. Total time spent on 3rd floor finding the looped cable and fixing the issue, 2 minutes. My phone is displaying cow skulls. Hello everyone, and #X200B, this one is short and sweet for you. I had one of my favorite users call me telling me she was having issues with her desk phone. Here is how that call went. Lorix, thank you for calling tech support, this is Lorix. And #X200B, Sophie, hello Lorix. I'm having a really strange issue with my phone on my desk and #X200B, Lorix, sure, what seems to be the problem? And #X200B, Sophie, well all of my calls are going straight to voicemail and #X200B, and #X200B, I was pretty sure she must have set her phone to DND and #X200B, Lorix, on the screen of your desk phone, along the left you should see some icons. Do you see what looks like a phone with a check mark next to it? Or is it a phone with a little circle and a line going through it? Sophie, neither. I'm seeing like a deer. With antlers. But it's tilted to the side. Oh wait, it looks like one of those things in Texas, a cow skull. Lorix, a cow skull. Sophie, yeah. Or maybe even a reindeer, but it's tilted. And #X200B, I walk her through how to turn off DND because I'm still sure that is the problem. As soon as we got to the menu to turn off DND, and #X200B, Sophie, oh. A phone. I see it now. You have to admit though that it definitely can look like a cow skull. Everything seems to be working now. Thank you. I can't see the very cartoon-like animal with horns image I have in my brain when seeing the phone icon now.